Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Your host, this guy. And almost didn't do the stream. I fell asleep and needed a nap. Wasn't feeling too good. But woke up, had a tea, and we're good to go. So yeah, hope everyone's good. Preparing for the Builders Challenge in a couple of days. That's exciting. And I know there will be another Game Maker update in a couple of days to help fix up all these little issues that the community has been reporting, and hopefully that all gets resolved right before the Builders Challenge begins. This should include the assets that there's an issue with publishing and assets, even though the asset review says it's all there. There's some back-end issues, so hopefully that gets resolved in time. A couple of other bugs too that people have reported, like a camera not moving when you got a custom avatar that has no animations and little things like that. So yeah, so I hope everyone's well. Oh, look, chat's busy today. Everyone's popped in. How are you? Hope all is well. I'm going to do some giveaways on today's stream. So if you want some free sand, do stay around. I will give away some sand. And all you have to do is participate in a number guessing game inside a chat on Twitch. Has to be on Twitch because I don't see all the other chats. All right, so I'm going to try to replicate some things I've seen on X and Discord where the community have made some cool things with the avatar bouncing around. And I want to create an asset where we can test that and see if we can make some cool things happen. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make a quick asset. This won't take very long at all. And all we're going to do is just make something that's like a roller, so like a log that the player can like walk on, but it can also be used to wedge a player if you have two of them rolling towards each other, like a meat grinder in a way, or a rolling pin. But yeah, let's make that, and then we can play around with it inside of you know, Game Maker, if you've ever heard of that before. Game Maker, it's pretty good. And what we can do here is we're going to make it a long roller, and we're just going to fill it up with just any color will do here. We'll make it a bit brighter. There we go. And the trick here is to make the pivot point on the edge. So we got 32 pixels, so we want to bring it down to 16 or 0. I think 0 will do. And we'll bring this all the way over here or over here, so it's 0 as well. So it's in the corner, the pivot point, and that should do. Let's bring this in to roller, and what we can do here is I think I remember how to do this. We duplicate it and we do roller 1. And what we do here is we take the edge and make the pivot point right next to the edge of the other one. And all we do is rotate it. So we can rotate it, and we can rotate it by something that is divisible by 360. So if we're going to go 25 degrees, all we do here is we'll just get the calculator out, and we can say 360 divided by 25. 14.4 is not good. We want a round number. So we probably want to do 360 divided by 30, which is 12. So we're going to make this 30 degrees. And all we do here is duplicate the node, and we'll just call it 2. And all we do is parent it onto the last one. And you can see it's automatically adjusted that. So we can duplicate this again, and we can say 3, and we can grab this one here and just parent it to that. And you can see we're kind of making a cylinder now. And we can just, again, duplicate this, type in 4, and we can grab the whole lot and parent it to the bottom one. And we're almost there. We'll duplicate it one more time. We've got 5, and we'll parent it to the bottom one. And what we can do is just delete the last one if it's overlapping, which it looks like it is, and this one is fine. So now we've created like a cylinder that the player can be balancing on. Yeah, and we just need to have the pivot point for this in the center. So there's the center. Now we just need to move everything to that center. I don't know if we've got that. So what I'll do here is I'll create another node. I'll call this roller main. And we're going to put everything into this roller main folder. And we're going to move the holder. I think maybe it goes here. And now we can move this. So it is in the center of this. So we'll just move this down. And I think, 16 is the middle. And then we can move this down to about here. I want it roughly in the middle, as close as possible. So that way when we put the rotation behavior on it, it's not so wobbly. I'm sure you can refine it to make it better. But for now, this will do. And we will save and we'll upload this to our account so we can bring it into Game Maker. And then we'll use that to play around with. So I'll just quickly upload this now. It's on the other screen. We'll call that roller 1 or 128, so I know the size. And it's just going to be a prop, common, create asset. And that's creating now. And we've got now a roller inside a Game Maker, I believe. We'll save that and close. And yeah, let's do this. So let's see if it's popped up. Roller. It hasn't yet. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. I like to tab in and tab out and then check again, that sort of thing. It's not here yet. There is a pipe that someone else has used or created. We could use that, but it's an Atari exclusive item. So if I wanted to like upload it, here it is. It is here. All right, so what we can do now is we can apply the rotation. I think it's a behavior. Rotate. And we got a few different rotation. So we got rotate around and rotate the actor. So this one here should be rotating on itself. Let's see what it looks like. It's not going in the direction we want. So we need to change the direction. We want it to go on the Z axis and we can make it a bit, oh, they've increased the rotation speed. That's nice. So let me have a quick look. And you can see we've got rotation. Awesome. And what we want to do here is we want to duplicate this. We'll move it across. And we will change it from clockwise to anti-clockwise, I guess. Or is that clockwise? It depends on what direction you're facing. And what we could do here is we can just put up some stairs. So we can get into the between them and jump in. And I should save it before I test this out in case it crashes the Game Maker or something. Don't want to do it again. And from what I've seen on X, if you jump in the middle of it, something cool does happen. You kind of fling around. Oh, there we go. And it feels like a Sonic game. Oh, kind of hurt me there. And it eventually flings you up quite high in the sky. You could probably adjust the gaps between these things to get the desired result. But you can see it flings you up in the air. And it also kills you. So let's get rid of the fall damage. And I think that's in parameters. And we got fall damage. We can make that disabled. And yeah, we'll get rid of that. Maybe bringing these closer together might produce better results. I don't know. Maybe the type of asset needs to be different. Maybe the gap needs to be bigger. Whee! So it's a bit of a fun idea. And I don't know if the gaps make a big difference or not. Well, obviously falling in between it's not going to help. But let's see if we can get it just enough. Completely missed that. Nice one. Nope, that one just fits in. Hey, nice. So it's not consistent. Maybe it is, but you can see it does little jumps before it does like a big jump. So I don't know what actually causes the momentum of the big jump. Maybe we could bring them closer. And I don't know if that will make a difference or not. Maybe if you bring them too close, it won't do anything at all. It'll just like get wedged. Cool beans. So that's a little fun one. Hi Biverson, how's it going? I'm going to play around. The gap has to be 0.5. Dr. Metaverse says. All right. Well, there you go. You got some specifics there, which is great. So let's do that one. And what we can do. What 0.5. There we go. I don't know if that's 0.5 or not, but it seems to be better already. And talking to Biverson as well, we'll mention in like a pinball kind of game where you can fling the ball around and how to use platforms to do that. So we're going to play around with that as well and see if we can get something working there. And we also created some different colored balls for this event. I don't know if it's going to help or whatnot, but we can check it out and see. I don't think this one is appropriate. It's too big, but we could use something a bit smaller. And for this one here, you can use a platform to push things around. So let's just get like a platform happening. And for this one here, you can just use a basic platform and you just have it with full speed, I guess. And you make it go up, no wait duration. And you just have this have gravity, so we can use it to fling things around. And you can see that the ball jumps around with a platform. It doesn't. It doesn't fling the avatar, but that looks hilarious. It's I didn't realize that the platform speeds have been increased. It's actually really fast now, but yeah, that's great. Earthquake. Yeah, before you couldn't get to 20 speed, it was like 12 or something. That was the max, I believe. But it looks like they've increased it a bit. That's funny. I wonder if I can remove the because if you have requires movement, I think that's what sticks the avatar to it. So if we could like duplicate this, and what we can do here is we can parent this one to this one, and we'll remove the basic platform of this. So it's just this one here that's got the basic platform. And I wonder if that will now fling the avatar around because it's not obligated to stick to it. Nope, it's still sticking to it. Whee! Nice. Bible says you can put the platform half a block underground, then you can jump, and then you can jump to avatar. All right, I'll put it underground. See if it does anything. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. So now we got like a trampoline. So we've got two ways to fling the avatar in the air. So we got this platform, and we also have the roll-in pins. The roll-in pins is, it looks like it pushes the avatar a bit higher, but it's not, it's a bit finicky, whereas this one here, it's just straight up. There's no, it's more predictable is what I'm trying to say. Awesome. So we've got a trampoline. Hey Zero, how's it going? After the ad break, which is in like 3 minutes, I'll do a sand giveaway. So let me set that up. And then I'll create like a mini pinball idea, just a basic one. And then we'll see if we can get the ball to fling around and have like a little obstacle course where we can trigger flaps, which will be platforms to push the ball around, to activate it with the left click and right click. So like left click would do the left side and the right click would be the right side of the pinball machine with the flaps. We'll come back to it. It sounds like it could be a bit of fun. I need to get some logic off another experience. Where did I put it? I think I put it in here. So I'll load this up and copy it over so we can do the giveaway. Still having issues with the coin. Okay, interesting. It has been reported. So we're going to change that system. So it's only going to be counting published assets and not just assets that are in the in that page. But I don't know when that's going to happen. So it may not happen before Builders Challenge. So you may need to alter your battle plan for that, or just mint more of those coins using more catalysts. They just have an alternative copy, something like that. All right, so here, what are we doing? The RNG game. So we're going to grab the RNG game. We're going to get that, and start timer is the message I want. So I'm going to Control C to copy this whole bunch of rules. Now that's copied over, I can go back to my other experience that I'm working on and paste it in there. And then I've got that logic for this experience. And then we can do a giveaway. I'm going to give away some sand. We'll give away 10 sand. 10 sand to the person who is closest to guessing a number between 1 and 100. So let me just go ahead and set that up. Just paste it in. You can see we got our rules. It's created the variables. All that is good. Now we just need something that triggers the message start timer. So I'll give this guy the start timer privilege. And all you got to do is just press E on this guy. And it will roll a number between 1 and 100. So in chat, you only get one guess. Type in a number between 1 and 100. I'll roll it in Game Maker, and the closest person wins 10 sand. I'll continue this after the outbreak. Yep, looks like it works. Excellent. I'll save that. Awesome. All right, so we've got a few people guessing. All you need to do is type a number between 1 and 100 in chat, and I will roll a random number in Game Maker. The closest person wins 10 sand. Nice and easy. Okay, yeah, don't drive and text, man. You've got your number, so ad break ends in 26 seconds. All right, that's a long ad break. That's really weird. I'll wait a bit more. Okay, apparently the community is back. Not a fan of adverts, to be honest, especially in the middle of a live stream. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, last chance to put in a number between 1 and 100 in the Twitch chat. Has to be in Twitch, and the person that's closest to the rolled number inside a Game Maker wins 10 sand. All right, last chance before it closes. All right, let's do this. Good luck, everyone. I'm going to guess number 17 for the funsies. And the random number rolled is 8. 8 is the number, which means Biverson wins with the guess number 9. Send me your wallet and I'll send you 10 sand after the stream. Congratulations. GG. We'll move this guy over here. All right, so we want to build a pinball machine kind of environment, and we want to use the left click and right click to trigger left flipper and right flipper. So we're going to create a new board here, and we'll just call it key inputs. And in key inputs, we want to put in our key inputs. So we'll go down to triggers, and we will do mouse input. And we're going to do input on, and here I do input off, and we can just do left flipper. You don't really need to put in a description for it to work, and then we can just do L flip for the left flipper. So when we push down the left, it will do the left flipper. Next we can do right, and we can just make this right flipper, and we'll do R flip. Awesome. So we need something that triggers the message input on, and I think we can just do that straight away with event and on player join, and we can just put here input on, so it triggers straight away. So when we push left mouse button down, it should send this message, and right will send that message. So let's check that out. And the way we can do that is to get our trusty numpad, and we'll put a couple of speakers on it so we can just see the result and make sure that it is send in that message with those clicks. And we can do L flip, and we'll just have duration 0.5, just half a second. We don't want it to look at the target. We want to wait for message, and that's L flip. And then we can duplicate that with Control D, and we'll make that R flip, and we'll put that here as well. R flip, perfect. And now I can test that out. And we go left click, right click. Okay. Left and right, left, right, left, right. Okay, perfect. So we got a couple of messages working. What we can do here is message send on button up. I can say L reset. And this one here can be R reset. So when the player let go of the mouse button, we want to reset the platform. And yeah. We can now use this to flip the ball around. So let's snap that to the ground. And what pinball machines normally are a slight slant, so the ball rolls. You don't want it to be vertical because that's fighting against gravity too much. So let's play around with just like a surface and see what we can come up with. Maybe a floor. I don't want blocks, I want props. We've got some sort of floor. Just seeing if there's something that is appropriate. If not, we can probably make something. It would be nice to make a few assets for this. We'll see how we go. No doors to pick because it's not on my stream. That's only on my channel. But just for the Sandbox channel, I just made it more simple. I haven't set it all up on the different profiles and things like that. I do, however, want to see what happens when we drop this inside of the meat grinder. Let's see what happens. Okay, it just balances around. Because it's round, it doesn't really get that glitch. Do you agree? Looks like this avatar agrees. Can't even see his face, it's like a blur. All right. So now we're going to use this concept here. We don't need to have it underground because the ball doesn't stick to the platform, so it should just work as intended. So if we have a flat surface, that's right, I'm looking for a flat surface. We could use something like this, I think. Yeah, green, yellow. That's a bit dull yellow, red, blue. I like red. Let's use red. Red and green. All right, so what we want here, I don't know what slant the pinballs normally are. I'm going to Google that. Pinball machine slant in degrees. Typical. All right, the angle is, machine's playfield is around 6.5 degrees in most electronic machines. However, older electronic mechanisms are only about 5 degrees. Some players prefer to adjust the angle slightly for personal preference. Machines angles between 6.8 and 6.9 degrees for newer Stern games. Try 6.5 degrees slant on my games. Yep, beautiful. So we've got about 5 to 7 degrees. 6 to 7 degrees is what most machines are on. So what we can do here is we can adjust this so the z-axis is 7 degrees. And what I want to do is see if the ball does roll down with some sort of momentum. And it does. It rolls quite slow. Is 7 degrees all it is, really? Does the ball get affected by slide? I haven't really tested if assets get affected by it. Don't think it does, right? It's just an avatar effect. Yeah, it doesn't look like slide affects other assets. It's just affecting the avatar, so that's all right. Maybe we can change that to, say, 15 and see what happens here. I think that's a bit better. I'm going to play around with the angle later, but what we can do here is we can make a flat surface and we'll snap, set to ground. What we can do is duplicate, and we can just make I think 4 wide will be enough. You got the thing that flings up, comes around. Yeah, maybe something like that. We can always adjust it later. Okay, and what we can do here is we can have like a holder, or one of them to be a holder, and we can just parent all of that into one. So say pinball floor. And we'll use this one as the holder, just the one in a corner. And we can take all of that and parent it to that. And now when we angle this to say 15 degrees, it takes all of it with it and they're all aligned. So you don't want to do the 15 degrees and then try to move each one to try to align it. You just do it on a flat surface and then you can do it all at the one time and it's completely even, which is good. Then we want the ball to be, where the ball needs to be hit by the spring to push it around. Let's see if that works. And we need a wall on the side to prevent the ball from falling out. So we'll go back to 0. We'll put that on the ground. We'll move this out of the way. And what we want to do here is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees and make that invisible. I'm just going to duplicate that and we're going to produce a border around our pinball machine just to stop the ball from falling off naturally. We can rotate this and just give it another border here. And we can then hold down Shift, select each one, duplicate it, and just bring it across. There we go. We can now grab this one and do 15 degrees again and bring it up. And now we've got our surface for the machine. This one here is not quite where I want it, and you can't really move it without it being unaligned, and then trying to do all of this fancy work to align it up, I mean, you can do it. Sometimes it's very tedious, so it's better to bring it down flat and adjust it so it's perfect. And it's fast at doing that as well. All right, next let's look for a asset to use to push the ball. I've got an exclusive. Let's use a lab. That'd be great. Let's use some basic assets. See if we can find anything that we can use to push the ball up. Ancient pillar might do. What else have we got? Let's see if there's anything more appropriate. What's this thing? No idea what that is. Why is this even in the basic assets? That's funny. I mean, we could use that. We could use the avatar box as well. Speaker, that could work as well. Anything that's flat and can push the ball up. And what we can do is we can dedicate a key that would push the ball up. So we can have here advanced platform. And advanced platform here has a wait duration when it gets to its destination, I think. Time in seconds, the platform should wait after reaching its point. So what we can do is we can make it really fast. We can move it up and we can make it wait 5 seconds or something. And message on arrival, we can say reset. But what we want here is a toggle so it doesn't trigger unless we say so. And that one here can be middle mouse. So we can use a middle mouse to activate that. We'll go back to our keys. We're going to duplicate one of these and we're going to make it middle. And we can call it, I don't know what that thing's called legitimately. Ball kit and entry, ball entry, that will do. And we can do that, and we could do M resets. Awesome. So now when we come in and I push middle mouse button, it pushes that up. Awesome. And we do it with the fastest speed. Excellent. Now, since that's 15 degrees, we want to kind of do it the same here. So we're going to rotate it here, and we're going to minus 15, which is what, 80, 75. Awesome. We're going to make this one flat again, and we'll snap to the ground, and we'll make this one flat as well, which is with 90 degrees. And we'll bring it up. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm just playing around with it. Awesome. Now we're going to parent that speaker to the main floor. So when we rotate the floor, it rotates the speaker as well. And we want to duplicate this. So the ball is going down that narrow path all the way to the top of the machine. And we can have a rounded environment, I guess, near the top, so it curves around. I don't know if it does that, but we'll play around with it and see what happens. Just make it 2. We'll snap this to the ground. And you probably want some sort of like ball spawner for each shot, but we'll save this and we'll test out to see if it actually works. Okay, so here we're going to move this over here so we can see it, and we're going to rotate this again back to 15 degrees. We want to snap the ball, I guess, to this as well. So that way when I move it, the ball is in the right position. And I want to make sure that this is going to be okay. I could lower the degrees if 15 is too much. All right, let's see. Yeah. Maybe because I parented the ball to this thing. Oh, look, it's all red. That's probably the issue, so I'm going to unparent that. And try again. Oh, it pushed through the ground. Okay, that's no good. Maybe there's a thickness to the floor that's needed because it's pushing into rather than up. So I already found a weakness. You can see. That's not what I expected to happen. What's actually happening here? I have no idea. Maybe I can make a thicker floor. We could try that, see what happens. Maybe I'll make a new asset for this. So this one here is a, what's it called? No, I renamed it, didn't I? Good on that. I'll do a floor prop ready. And I just got floor, yeah, so it's 128 by 256. Just need to make something a bit thicker. So I'm going to do that in VoxEdit right now. Just going to load that up and see if it helps fix this issue. And we'll just replace that floor with something else. Animation, create new, pinball floor, save. And what we can do here is floor, new VXM. Doesn't really matter. And we can do it 64 thickness. And then what was it? It was 256, 128 by 256. And we'll have something like this instead. And maybe the thickness will help here. I don't know. But we're going to find out. Because we can't have the ball going through the floor, it doesn't quite work. So we'll see if a 2-block thickness makes a difference. We're going to upload that and replace that floor. And hopefully that adjusts accordingly. If not, that's okay. Okay, create prop, upload, confirm, pinball floor thick, and other prop, continue, common, create asset. Okay, that's creating now. Perfect. We'll go back to our game maker and replace it and see if it actually makes a difference. Everyone liking the discount on crypto the last few days? Some good cheap crypto. So we're going to replace this one with with this one. And I can't replace all because we used it for walls as well. But let's see what happens if we just replace one. Orientation was incorrect. All right, let's just manually do it. All right, we're gonna have to redo this. No worries, no worries. Four. Okay, it's 4 by 4. And we'll parent this to this one here. And now we've got our parent back again. We can go ahead and we can make that 0. We can then grab that, bring it over here. We'll get rid of this snap so we can just get what we want perfectly. Something like that. Bring the ball down, snap to ground. And we just need to parent this now to the one down here. Awesome. We can go ahead and, wait, I think this one's also parented. We'll bring that over here. And I'll bring that to our proper destination. And we'll snap to the ground, bring it up. Okay, and if I just delete this, it should all be good. All right, first off, I'm going to test it without... I think because these walls are too thin, it just flings through. So you need some sort of gap. And if I rotate it by 15 degrees, oh, different orientation this time. All right, so it's minus 15 here. Oh, whoops. Minus, minus 15? No, all right. What's 360 minus 15? 345. Why is it going into the thousands? There we go. Cool, cool. And we just want to make sure that's invisible. It is. So if I push the middle mouse button in now, push. Why? Why do you do this? Why? All right. Game Maker's frozen for me. 1 second. I crashed. We crashed the Game Maker. Let's load it back in. And I didn't save it after making that pinball again. Silly me. That's why it's always good to save before you test. Doesn't matter how small of a change it is. Because now I need to do that whole thing again. So we'll grab that. We'll snap it to the floor, duplicate. So if the thickness of the wall is the issue, we can definitely replace that with something else and give that a whirl. And if we can work out exactly how many voxels it needs to prevent it from going through a wall, then we can have a bit more control over what's happening. So we got this one now. We'll go ahead and parent all of that to that. So it is now good. And what we can do here is we'll do what we did last time. We'll bring this over here. We'll snap to the ground. Okay, that didn't do it as expected. Parent it to this. And the last thing here is to take that, parent it to that, and bring it over here. I'm going to change these walls now. I'm going to change it so it is the back rooms wall, which I think is about 16 thick, maybe. I'm just going to delete it, and I'm going to do it from scratch. Because orientation matters. And we'll make that invisible. And duplicate it and bring it over here. Now hopefully this will do. I'm only going to do this side of the pinball just because we haven't got the whole wall moving properly happening. But what we can do is just parent that to that. We'll just do that for now. And we can do a test. We can snap that to the ground, but it's not snapping to the asset. Fair enough. And the ball can come over here. All right, I'm going to save now. Get rid of these two assets. Save. And then we'll test. Maybe you should try to make it vertical. Yeah, I can guess make it vertical, but I have a feeling it won't make a difference if the walls are too thin. So we'll just test it here as a horizontal. Why? Why do you go up in the air? Maybe we can duplicate this and we can make a roof for it as well, since it wants to be very very dramatic about it. Does it kind of like go into the ground? Is that what's happening? Yeah, it kind of like flings in the ground and says, nah, coming back out. So if I do -15, no. Was it 345? 345. And we'll bring our portal over. Doesn't like the angle. So let's go all the way up in the air so it goes to 270. I said 270. And we can do like a rocket launch. That'll be a bit more fun. So we still can't make a pinball game by the looks of it without gravity and collisions not behaving, as you can see. It was worth a try, to be honest. Let's rotate this down a bit. What happens if we launch it to, say, 20? I'll just make it go wee. Get ready for the launch. Do, 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 do. It didn't quite do the thing. Hey, good to know. The ball is probably better to go down rather than up and being pushed around. So it was a good experiment to see what would happen. We can make things jump with flat surfaces, but making it on an angle, it doesn't really like to do it. Maybe if I use this block rather than the speaker, maybe the speaker's the issue. We can right click and copy, and then we can make an advanced platform here. And we can right click and paste. So maybe it's just simply the asset that it's hidden from. I doubt it, but you know, still worth a test. Toggle as well, right? Forgot to copy the toggle. It was the asset. There we go. All right, now let's try again. That's very good to know. 345. And here, this will be 15. No, what's the angle here that I need? 75, right? No, 70, 75, 80, 80, 75. And the ball is somewhere in here. Where's the ball? Here it is. And there we go. We are getting there. All right, so we're going to lower this now so it makes sense with the platform, with the pinball machine orientation being 7 degrees rather than 15. So 7 degrees at 360 is what? 353. And we can get the ball again. And just bring it up a bit. So it does roll, it does push. It just needs to be a flat surface that pushes it. The speaker asset I was using was not a good one. It seemed to be colliding with its corners. So we got some sort of movement now. We could probably make this a bit more. So maybe 3 or even 4. That might work. And as you can see, it kind of works. What we can want here is to reset this, and we probably don't need it so far up. So maybe it's just too long. We can have something that's a bit shorter, so it rolls out better. I don't know if these are preventing it from doing the proper thing, but let's see. Okay, I kind of like it. When we let go of the mouse, we want to respawn this. So the best way to do that is to maybe have health component. And with the health component, we can say, is it M reset? We can reset straight away. Maybe reset straight away. No, we can. What we can do here is reset plunger. I don't know what you call it. I even spelled that wrong. Great. Reset trigger. Let's keep it easy. And we can say reset. And we don't want to see the health. And we want to do it when the destination is reached. So it should just reset back to its position. There we go. After it pushes it. And I can push it again, push it again, push it again. So we can do that same with the flaps. It's not cool having that def animation though. So you don't have to use the health. You can use a asset spawner. Three, two, one, launch! Yeah. So if you want a clean animation, what you can do is instead of having health, we'll get rid of that. What we can do here is let's call it trigger. We'll go ahead and create a new preset. Let's call it trigger. When it reaches the end, it will send a message reset trigger. And what this can be is a plant. And the plant can kill this with reset trigger. So once it reaches the end, it will remove it. And what we can have instead, I think Game Maker has crashed again. But then we can have an asset spawner. I know it's kind of doing stuff. Let's save. Nope. Alt F4. Cancel. Tab. Ah, look at this. I can move things around, I can rotate things, but the camera is stuck. And I can edit logic. Can I open up the game rules? Yep. But I just can't move the camera around. That's a new one, that hasn't happened to me before. Let's save. We'll save now and see. If we can just leave Game Maker rejoin. So we got a bit happening here. It's kind of working. We kind of identified why things weren't pushing around properly because it needs to be a completely flat surface. We worked out the thickness of the environment that the ball is being pushed in. It needs to be a certain thickness so it doesn't go through the wall. And we can see how much force the ball uses to go up. Okay, and now what we do here is we can duplicate this. And here it's going to be an asset spawner. It's going to be invisible. It's going to have no collisions. And we're just going to use asset spawner to spawn another one of these triggers. It should just be in the exact same spot, which it is. And we're going to use the message of the reset trigger to spawn another one. Okay. And now when we push the middle mouse button, it should push it up. And it does respawn, but you can see it's rotated. Awesome. So the way to fix this is to make this one 0 rotation. And then we save it as the preset. Awesome. Now we'll go back to whatever it was. So what degrees did I make this? So it's just a 7 degrees, so that would be 83. And this one here will be 83. Perfect. Now it should spawn in the correct orientation. Kinda does. It's still not. Ah. because of the 1 second rule, yeah, we can't go below 1 second. So if we triggered it sooner than 1 second, it won't respawn another one. Interesting. But it looks like it works. And then you can have the flaps as well. So you need to use this sort of concept to have the flaps. I don't know if the rotation behavior would be good to use in this case. Instead of basic platform, you have something that's a flap instead. So let me see if I can do something that will make it look like it makes sense. So if you did try to make something like this, you're following along, it might work. So we got rotation, and we don't want an offset, I don't think. We probably need to something that flings up, and only flings up once. And I don't think it does it fast enough for it to be a hit. So rotate behavior may not be the way to go. Maybe it still needs to be like a basic platform or an advanced platform. And here you can have L flip. We don't need to reset that. We can again send a message to reset it, no problems, but we'll do it for none for now just to see it go. And we don't want it to go too far. And you probably want something like this. And when we duplicate it, we can rotate it so it's over here. Of course, this is very rough. There will need to be a lot more R&D to get this working pretty well. We can do R flip, and this one here will be L flip. And we could probably get rid of this and maybe rotating this over here might bring the ball into play. So we push the middle mouse button in. Is there a bug where it changes the messages? It does. That's annoying. So when you duplicate an asset and then change a message from the duplicated one, it looks like it changes on the original. Okay, kind of works. We could have something like this. So it's lower, and we could have duplicate. We will rotate this so it aims it into this area, and we can kind of play around with that. So it does roll quite slow, which is not ideal for a pinball game again. And the ball got stuck. There we go. Come on. You can do it. So if I right click now, I should be able to push the ball. Hey, it works. And then you can have those flippers reset, like what we did with this thing here. I haven't put a reset for it, but you can see when I clicked it, it pushed the ball. So if you have a whole bunch of things that are moving and guiding the ball, it might work. Maybe the floor itself could be a moving platform or something that moves consistently down at a slow speed that you can't really see. And when a ball is on it, it kind of pushes it down faster. Again, it's probably worth testing because if you hit against it, it might be slower because it's fighting against a moving platform coming towards you. But these are little things to discover and play around with. It's not intended, the Game Maker is not intended to make a fluid pinball game, but it's fun to play around with, and maybe it will spark some ideas. Maybe you will improve on the concept and make something that will work a bit better. You know, that sort of thing. So pinball is kind of a possible concept, but it does need a little bit more work for it to work. And then again, you use left mouse, right mouse button to push, and I missed it that time, but it did work the last example. And then we can make them reset. So just like this one here. But with the asset spawner is a 1 second cooldown. So you probably want it like a replace asset. I think that might be the way to go. So let me show you that concept. Here we could probably say replace R. And here we do replace L. So when it reaches the end, it replaces it. And we could have a plant behavior, which then replaces L. And over here, we can have a plant that replaces, whoops. What am I doing? Oh, I'm looking for plant. Plant that replaces R. And when replace R happens, you want to respawn this one. So we're going to save this as flipper R. We'll go ahead and make that a preset. We've got flipper R, and this one here is flipper L. And we've got flipper L. And we want to replace when it does trigger. So we can go ahead and I don't know if adjustments need to be made. We will find that out now. But we can have replace asset, and we can have flipper replace L. And we'll replace it with the replace flipper L. My brain is starting to get fried. All right, let's do the next one, which is replace asset. We're going to replace with the right flipper, and this one here will be replace R. All right, I'm going to save this, and we're also going to, should we make it invisible? No, because yeah, if we replace it, it replaces it with just that asset. So what I can do here is we're going to have to save both of these in flipper R, and we need to replace both of these in flipper L. Okay. Now the replace asset should be invisible, and this one here should be invisible. Also no collisions, right? We don't want it to be conflicting with the ball. Of course, again, this is just mucking around. But let's replace flipper L, and we can replace flipper R. What we can do here is we can just duplicate this wall, and we'll bring it over here and just block this off for now. Again, you do the walls and boundaries with the flat surface to make it aligned up and easier. And this one here, we could have a basic platform here to kind of guide the ball along. Something like that, or 0.5. Platform speed is huge and nothing. So if we save this and test it, we'll see what happens. Hey Tom Voxel, how's it going? All right, one more sand giveaway. I'll give away another 10 sand. All you got to do is guess a number between 1 and 100. Put your guess inside the Twitch chat, and the closest number with the roll number from the game maker wins 10 sand. We'll quickly test this out. So left click, right click, and there is there a flipper? No flipper. Is it underground? Oh, whoops. Okay, interesting. So that flip, plant, replace R. Here we got replace R. Ah, the preset. Gotcha. So this one here is going to be flipper R, and this one here is going to be flipper L. Okay. Now, do I need to save over the preset again? Is this an issue? Okay, that's good. Save again. All right, we've got a couple of guesses. Play Game for Fun thinks the rolled number will be 69. Bubvis says it's 21. If you want a chance to win 10 sand, you just need to guess a number between 1 and 100. Put it inside Twitch chat. I'll roll a random number in Game Maker. The person that is closest wins the sand. All right, so now we are going to push. There we go. It's kind of flung the ball this way, so we want to have some sort of wall over here that doesn't allow it to go away from the flipper for our test. So we'll have something here, maybe. And we'll try again. All right, so left click should do the left flipper and right click should do the right flipper. Yay! So that works. I kind of almost got it to the end, but it's not replacing the asset. I think there's some sort of bug. Let me have a look. Left flipper, right flipper. Yeah, why isn't it actually replacing it with the... Well, this one says flipper L. This one says none. What's going on here? This is ridiculous. There's a bug, obviously, with this stuff. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with the presets. I can't even bring them out. It's kind of saying, nah, not doing it. Maybe I can parent these together advanced platform and replace asset. So if I bring that to that, and this one to this one, and then I save the preset, and this one here, save the preset, and this one here should be now flipper R, and we're going to again save the preset, and this one here should be flipper L and save the preset. So RL, RL. Now we got our flippers working. So you have to parent them for it to work. Roger that. All right, so now we've got working flippers with left and right mouse button, and they respawn after the action is taken, so you can do multiple flips, which is cool. There we go. So the ball's coming in now. The physics is a bit different, so it's not always the same. And we can then hit the ball. Boop, it's hopped off. All right, so what we can do here is we can duplicate. And we don't even need to have these invisible. It's just it's just here so we can see what's going on, but you know, every game has boundaries in pinball, and you definitely can see it. So we'll just make sure that we can see it. All right, and we got our little little pinball. Whee! And now everything should remain inside the machine unless it falls through. You can see that it is working. You want something to block this once the ball goes through. So once the ball passes, you want a wall like this to spawn to keep it from going back down. You can have things in the middle that rotate and push the ball around as well, which gives it speed, slows it down, bounces off things like bumpers. Hey, that works. It works as intended. But there's, like I said, the ball gets stuck. There's things that don't work as well as it should. You can probably bypass that by having invisible rotating walls at the... oh, it even pushes the avatar away. That's a really good to know. That could be useful. So if you want some sort of place where the player can't go to, or you want to push them away, you can have these be invisible, and that would work well. Oh, there's no meeting. I don't know why I have my alarms set for every day. All right, so we have got a few things played around with today. We had our trampoline experiment. We had the rolling thing that we saw on X, and that was okay as well. The trampoline's a bit better, in my opinion. We can also use this technique here. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate these. Give me 1 second. Control D, and we can rotate this so it's flat. We'll bring it down, and we'll make sure that is 0. And if we push the middle mouse button We probably need to put this underground. So we'll put something here, push this underground. And now when we push the middle mouse button, we can fly in the air. So we can do things like that. So you can have like a middle mouse button that launches, and you can have some sort of game which requires like launch pads or trampolines to get across like lava or sharks in the water or spikes on the ground, that sort of thing. So we got a whole bunch of different things that might work to make gameplay a bit more interesting. Last chance to put a number inside Twitch chat. Guess the number between 1 and 100 and win 10 sand. It's really that easy. Before I end the stream. Whee! And you can make them automatically as well. So you can have, instead of pushing a middle mouse button, which is what I have set up at the moment, you can have a volume trigger. And a volume trigger can be a box, which is by 2 by 2 by 2, maybe 1 by 1. It's probably 1.5, right? We'll do it in the middle so it's better like that. And then the volume here can send a message to reset trigger. So we can get rid of, yeah, so we can do here toggle jump. And it can be done to the self, and then we can put that here. So instead of pushing a button when a player jumps on, it automatically does it. So you don't have to push a button, and it just activates when you push it. Again, I did toggle jump, which is not what you want. You want to have reset trigger, and reset trigger. Yeah, that should work. It should reset. The thing is, I didn't save that jump with the change over the trigger preset. So now that should work. Each time I step on this platform, it kind of pushes me up in the air. Come back, it pushes me in the air. So you have this like automatic push in the air when the player steps on certain blocks. So we can use this in games for sure. This is actually quite a useful trick. But as you can see, if you spawn it too quickly, if you do it twice in less than a second, the asset spawner doesn't have a chance to spawn the next one and kind of breaks it. So that's why I suggest using replace asset, because you can see replace asset doesn't have that 1 second cooldown problem. Whereas the asset spawner does. Cool. All right, let's add volume trigger to avatar. Yeah, that could work too. Absolutely. All right, let's roll that random number, guys. Closest number guessed between 1 and 100 wins 10 sand. Let's do it. Good luck. I'm going to guess number 44. And the number is 61. So who's the closest? That would be 69. So play game for fun wins the 10 sand. Congratulations. So I think we logic labbed pretty well today. We've got some cool concepts that could be worked on a bit better, but we know now some weaknesses, some strengths, a way to do things. The pinball needs a little bit more work because the ball's momentum is quite slow if there's nothing guiding it after the initial push. But yeah, we can work on that and play around with it. But I'm going to make on my stream like a marbles race that you have on Steam. You know, some streamers, or I used to do it as well. You roll, every player has like a marble, and then it goes through an obstacle course, and the one that reaches the end first wins. That is something I want to make for giveaways as well. So not just guessing a random number between 1 and 100, but picking a colored ball in amongst a whole bunch of other balls, which I have already made. And looks like it's frozen. There we go. So I got like all these different colored balls and stuff for the race. I got like 13 different ones. Don't know if that's enough. It might be, considering that we don't have a full stream all the time that are participating. So this may be okay. But yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something. Hope we had a bit of fun, inspired you to make something cool and interesting. And good luck to everyone in the Builders Challenge, which starts in a few days. Hope everything goes well with you, and all the best. Take care.